My name is Alicia Chen, and I decided to research about silkworm hatching rates for my science project. For my hypothesis, I thought that that all the silkworm eggs will hatch, but some will hatch faster than others, like box A with a heat lamp and mist. I thought that would hatch fastest since there would be moisture and heat, which is almost identical to the natural climate of a silkworm. But I also predicted that the silkworm eggs that would hatch slowest would be the ones in room temperature, and the ones that would hatch normally would be the silkworm eggs with only a heat lamp. The materials I used for this were silkworm eggs, 3 shoe boxes, heat lamps, a spray bottle, and tweezers, and a ruler to measure. And I used silkworm food to feed the silkworms, silkworm eggs to hatch the silkworms, shoe boxes for the silkworms to live in, heat lamps so that boxes A and B will have warmth, spray bottles so box A will have enough moisture, tweezers so I can pick up the silkworms and put them on a roller to measure them, and a ruler to measure the silkworms every week. So the procedure for this experiment is you have to set out 3 shoe boxes each and label them A, B, and C. Put 4 mulberry leaves in each box and put 5 eggs in the center of each leaf with tweezers. Attach a heat lamp to box A and B and leave 12 inches of space in between the eggs and the heat lamp. And once a day, spray the eggs in box A so that the eggs will be damp. Take a photo of the eggs in the box every day so you can journal about how much they've grown and put a time lapse on that to see the process of them growing. And every other day, replace the old mulberry leaves with new ones. And at every week, measure the silkworms to see how big they've grown. So I did some research on silkworms too. So a silkworm, also called a Bombyx mori, is a domestic bug that is used for silk production. They have a 45-day growing period and starting as eggs. After 10 days, the silkworm eggs should have hatched already and became larvae, and they go through metamorphosis. To make a cocoon, it takes them to get from larvae to cocoon stage. It takes around 30 days. But if the eggs hatch between temperatures of 75 to 85 Fahrenheit, then the metamorphosis stage will go smoothly. But eggs can also go through a period of cold temperatures and bad environmental conditions. And in that case, silkworms will go through a stage called diapause, where it stunts their growth, they stop growing, and they basically freeze in time. And the question is, what climate is best for a silkworm to hatch in? That is the question I was researching about. I was doing this experiment that's the question this experiment was based on. So the reason for doing this experiment is to figure out how to ensure silkworm's survival. This will also show how we can support a silkworm's lifestyle and help them live. And in conclusion, my project showed that silkworms grow best in a warm and humid climate. I was able to observe how silkworm eggs change over time. At 2 to 4 days, the silkworm eggs that were fertile turned a light yellow, and the silkworm eggs that weren't fertile stayed a clear color. After 4 to 6 days, the silkworm eggs turned a pink color, and after 6 to 4 days, the silkworm eggs started to turn a dark black, meaning that they're going to hatch in a couple of days. when the silkworms hatched, they looked like a small black line with the length of a grain of rice. And there was a clear egg shell next to them, with a clear egg-shaped shell next to them, with a hole where they came out of. And silkworms' primary food source are mulberry leaves. So wherever you find mulberry leaves, silkworms will most likely be there too. This means that if silkworms have mulberry leaves and the right conditions, they can thrive anywhere. And so I put data about all my research and everything that I recorded. So in week 1, box A with the mist and heat lamp, the silkworms were 1 centimeter in length, 0.1 centimeters in width, and all the eggs hatched, and they were all very active. In box B, the silkworm's length was 0.7 centimeters and 0.1% as in 0.1% in width, and 75% of the eggs hatched. And the eggs in box B are not very active. In box C, none of the eggs have hatched, but they are a very deep black color. And in week 2, box A was 2 centimeters, 0.3 centimeters in width, less active and eating most of the time. And in box B, 1 centimeter in length, it was 1 centimeter in length, 0.1 in width, and they were all very active. And in box C, it was 1 centimeter in length and 0.1 in width, and 80% of the eggs have hatched. In week 3, box A was 4 centimeters and 0.3% in width. Box B was 1.5 in length and 0.2 in width. And in box C, it was 1.2 centimeters in length and 0.1 centimeters in width. And what's interesting about box C in week 3 was that they started going into diapause, which we talked about over here. Diapause when they don't have the right weather conditions. So room temperature is too cold for silkworms to live in. And that's all I have that's all the information I researched about for my science project.